Hello and welcome to marketing91.com. In this video, we are going to cover the topic on channel partners. Let's start with the introduction. Marketing intermediaries are also known as middlemen, distribution intermediaries or channel partners, and a big part of production distribution channels. The smooth moving of a product from the manufacturer to the end user is only possible due to channel partners. They facilitate the sales process. Many channel partners like wholesalers, distributors, and retailers take physical possession of goods and also pay for it. They are held responsible for the inventory holding or stock in their possession. Companies strive to choose the best marketing channels as well as the best channel partners. Strong channel partners like Walmart turn a profit through products by promoting and selling them that might not otherwise be possible for its producer. Let's look at the types of channel partners, starting with wholesalers. Wholesalers generally act as intermediaries who buy in bulk and seek to sell to resellers instead of retailers. Cundiff and Still say, wholesalers buy and resell merchandise to retailers and other merchants and to industrial, institutional and commercial users, but do not sell in significant amounts to ultimate consumers, as in the end consumer. S.E. Thomas says, the wholesale trader is a trader who purchases goods in large quantities from manufacturers and resells to retailers in small quantities. Other businesses buy products and get physical input from wholesale business. Tangible goods and wholesaling are closely related. Moving on to the functions of wholesalers, starting with the first one, assembling goods. Since wholesalers are aware of the quantity, quality, and type of products that their customer need, they are able to place orders with their suppliers. Next, distribution of goods. Wholesalers help conveniently distribute goods. Third, the producer concentrates on manufacturing and the wholesaler handles the sale to retailers. Fourth, provides a trained sales force. A trained force for selling its products in the local market is provided by wholesalers. The sales force is efficient and they ensure that products reach the retailers and are sold. Fifth, they help in marketing and research. Marketing activities are conducted by wholesalers to increase awareness about products. Research is conducted by wholesalers to understand sales-related problems with reference to the products. Then the manufacturers are informed to make changes in the products if needed. Moving on, they help reduce physical distribution cost. Goods from manufacturers are bought in bulk by wholesalers and hence the distribution cost for manufacturer decreases. They also help in warehousing and delivery facilities. Warehouse and delivery facilities are provided by wholesalers to store goods. Hence, the risk of loss of goods is faced by the wholesaler. They also deliver goods to retail outlets. Next, credit facilities. Credit is given to retailers by wholesalers whenever required, but they make sure that the sales of the product are not affected. Ninth, they also help in advertisement. PR and advertisement for products is undertaken by wholesalers to increase their sale. And finally, the entire function of wholesaler also depends on undertaking risk. The risk of theft, obsolescence of inventory and deterioration is undertaken by wholesalers. Moving on to the other channel partners, distributors. The distributor delivers some of the same duties that the wholesaler does, but usually take a more active role. Under the following three circumstances, a distributor might be required. First, when a new town is entered. Second, when additional coverage is needed in the same town. And third, when an existing distributor needs to be replaced. The potential for the company business to decide the number of distributors required and whether a town can sustain full-fledged distributor needs to be assessed when entering a new place with a distributor network. Profiling is done for the chosen town along with profiling of the current and potential competitors and the channels that they operate in town. It is necessary to understand the cost of servicing in the market after it is understood whether the town can support more than one distributor. Some of the functions of distributors are: first, selling. A distributor mainly concentrates on making products available in the market. It is an important function for a distributor to make it convenient for potential buyers to purchase products. Second, promotion. Distributors can also take over promotion, even though manufacturers generally arrange for the general promotion through press releases, trade magazine or articles about the products. It is easier for distributors to arrange for discount coupons and in-store promotions since they have contractual relationship with retailers. Third, customer service. Even the distributors do not have training to manage in-depth technical support. They are generally good as the first contact for customer service. Some distributors have communication facilities and the personnel that allow them to handle customer calls in a more effective way than manufacturers. Fourth, they also help in market research. Distribution companies tend to collect more market information in the field of their business as compared to manufacturers since that are closer to the market. Feedback on customer satisfaction, trends and competitors' positioning is very important in markets that change quickly and the markets that require responses to the manufacturing side's market events. And finally, financing. Financially strong distributors offer finance for customers for larger purchases. Favorable repayment terms and advantageous rates can increase sales. Third-party financial companies help finance distributors who cannot handle financing themselves. Moving on to the third channel partner, retailers. Goods are purchased through many distribution channels and sold in small quantities to customers directly by retailers or merchants. Their main goal is earning a profit. Functions performed by retailers. First, and the obvious one, breaking bulk. To reduce transportation, manufacturers choose to ship products in bulk quantities. It is easier and more cost-effective for manufacturers to pack and ship merchandise in larger quantities rather than the smaller ones. At the same time, customers, as in the end consumers, prefer to purchase goods in manageable, smaller quantities. After purchasing larger quantities from manufacturers, retailers sell smaller quantities to the customers as per the customer's requirement. This is known as breaking bulk. Second, they help in providing assortments. A variety of services and products are collected from numerous sources by retailers and then offered as collection to the customers. Offering an assortment gives the customer a wide selection of designs, brands, colors, size, and prices to choose from all at one location or store. Next, they help in holding inventory. Holding inventory helps the retailer keep the broken down inventory that they use to provide a customer user-friendly and smaller sizes whenever they required in check. Fourth, they help provide convenient timing and location. The location of stores are chosen by retailers and kept open for longer hours in order for customers to conveniently locate them and fulfill the customer's requirement of services and goods whenever needed. Example in this case is 7-Eleven stores. Next, they also help in providing services. Services that make it easier for consumers to use and buy products are offered by retailers. This may be in the form of credit by which a customer uses a product now and pays for it later. This happens typically in India in mom and pop stores. Services may also be in the form of space being provided to display the products for the customer to see before buying. Next, retailers also help in recording and providing feedback. Feedback and transactions from customers are documented by the retailers and then notified to wholesalers and manufacturers in the form of forecasts, customer complaints, defective items, inventory turnover, and other information. This helps manufacturers and wholesalers to modify the services and goods to increase their sales and satisfy customers better. Next and final, they also help in increase the value of products and services. Assortments are provided, bulks are broken down, inventory is held, convenient timing and location are offered, services are provided, and feedback is recorded and provided, which in turn increase the value that is provided to customers by services and products. Now moving on to an example of a very famous wholesaler, McLane. McLane is an American large-scale supply chain services company. The company dispenses grocery and non-food related items to convenience stores, drugstores, discount retailers, wholesale clubs, military bases, quick service restaurants, and casual dining restaurants all throughout the United States. Not only this, but it is also a wholesale distributor of wine, distilled spirits, and beer in some of the US states. McLane is organized into 3 segments. First, grocery distribution. Grocery distribution wing serves about 49,000 retail locations in the country. Next, food service distribution. The food service distribution category caters to almost 36,500 chain restaurants. And finally, beverage distribution. The beverage distribution section services around 24,900 retail locations in Colorado and southeastern US. McLane is a fully owned appendage of Berkshire Hathaway since 2003. Moving on, key customers of McLane include Walmart, which was a former parent company of McLane. Walmart is also McLane's biggest client with about 25% of its total revenues in the year 2027. Other prominent customers include 7-Eleven and Yum Brands. The next example of the distribution system of Under Armour. By looking at the pie chart on the left, we can understand that wholesale channel, as marked in blue, are responsible for most of Under Armour's sale. This includes supplying to department store chains, independent and specialty retailers, and national sporting good chains, teams, and institutional athletic departments and leagues. Products are also directly sold to customers with the help of e-commerce websites and network of factory house and brand stores owned by Under Armour. This is marked in grey, accounting to 34%. In 2019, it got 60% of its net revenues from wholesale, as stated above, 34% from selling directly to the customer, 3% from licensing, as marked in yellow, and 3% from connected fitness channel, marked in green. Connected fitness, as stated, is nothing but digital advertising through platforms like MapMyFitness, Endomondo, and MyFitnessPal, along with digital fitness subscriptions which are offered by Under Armour. So that's it, folks. This brings an end to the topic on channel partners. These are some of the sources and links referred to for the content in the video. If you've liked the video, do subscribe to our channel. If you want to view these videos in an organized manner, you can visit freecourses.net, where all our videos are arranged in the form of courses. Thank you and see you in the next video.